And if we do really want to make the time, then what's holding us back? Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to get on here and have a very candid, real conversation with you as to why you probably aren't losing the weight that you feel like you need to lose. You feel like you have the capability to lose, but for some reason you just aren't losing it. I wanted to really tap in to a really, really uncomfortable aspect of actually losing the weight and actually being honest with ourselves. So a lot of times I've been there. I lost 25 to 30 pounds. I've been there. But a lot of times when I'm talking to women about losing weight, how to get in shape, losing a few pounds here and there, wanting to feel good in their clothes, wanting to lose the excess, 25 to 30 pounds of stress weight from college that they just never seem to be able to get rid of, whatever it is, we have to be honest with ourselves when we say we want to get rid of the weight, but then we literally do the thing that keeps the weight, okay? And I really want to be empathetic while I'm also being very honest with you and have a lot of compassion, because it's hard. The world that we live in is conditioned for us to eat only for pleasure. I'm not going to even say bad, because I think eating food, like having an amazing meal from an amazing chef and tasting their elaborate, amazing new one-of-a-kind meal, seasonings that have never been put together, like you want to take advantage of those things. Or when you're on vacation, or when you're celebrating your child's birthday, whatever. Food is a part of life. Like it's a part of like how we connect with each other, right? But if you're trying to lose 25 to 30 pounds, there's gonna have to be a moment where you press pause on that stuff for just a little bit, okay? So if you're yo-yoing, or it's like year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 10, that you're like, I've been trying to get this weight off for the longest time and I just can't seem to get it off. What I want to tell you is it's probably because you might need to do some type of inner work prior to you actually trying to lose the weight. So stay with me here. Hear me out. If you really want to lose the weight, I'm going to tell you how to do it, okay? Sometimes we have to mentally get ready. Like before we even start doing the exercising and the eating healthier, it starts up here. So that's why my channel is all about health, fitness, and mindfulness. And really purposely, mindfulness is on the end of that slogan, because I want you to, that's actually what I want to stick in your mind the most, is mindfulness. There's gonna have to be an entirely new identity that we become embodied with if you want to lose 25 to 30 pounds. So that's gonna be things like not eating super late, looking at your portions, realizing if you have a sugar addiction or not, right? Now, all those things are very surface. Like we see them and we're like, okay, we get it. We're stressed, we gain weight. We've been working too much, we gain weight. We haven't been getting enough sleep, we gain weight. But what if you really want to lose the weight in 2023, for the next 30 days, really dig into why you haven't lost it. Okay? Really dig into why. Is your family life, is your home life a mess? Do you hate your job? Do we need to get another job? Ding, ding, ding. That's what mine was. I hated my job. I was like, I'm not doing what I want to be doing with my life. Stress eating. Eating on the road. I was commuting, eating on the road. Do we not really feel like we can do it? Like, do we not show up for ourselves? Do we not trust ourselves? That's okay. But as long as we're identifying it, then we can get to the root of the problem. So if another year goes by, it's like we have to figure out why. If we're jumping from, Weight Watchers, we're jumping to keto, we're jumping to vegan, we're jumping to vegetarian, we're jumping to the carnivore diet, we're jumping to all these different diets, not realizing that the entire time, the main dieting that we need, like the main cleanup that we need to do, not realizing that the entire time where we need to start is actually just mindfulness. And a lot of people take this for granted, and a lot of people will sign up for fitness programs and 30-day challenges and 6-week challenges, and some people do fantastic, but then they completely gain all the weight back, or they feel like they can't even get through the challenge, right? So there's an underlying reason why we're not doing those things. So that's what we need to start with. It's okay to get mentally prepared for the next 30 days to then actually start to lose the weight, right? So I know for me, there was a period in my life where I just was like, I just want to purge everything. Like my grandmother had passed away and I was a caregiver for 6 years. And there was just so many things that I saw her accumulate. And so of course, when she passed, my mother and I were in charge of like getting rid of all her stuff. So in purging all her stuff, I was like, I just want to go through my stuff too, like, and get rid of every single thing that doesn't serve me. Like for some reason and it wasn't like I was messy or dirty or anything like that. It was just having an abundance of things that weren't serving me. It was like clouding my mind to where I was like, I really want to read more about glucose and blood sugar and what the brain does when we eat certain things. And I wanted to like nerd out and geek out. But then when I would go research that stuff, I would find myself transitioning out of that and just scrolling on social media. And I'm like, why do I do that? Like, I'm really interested in learning about habit building and how to become, an extraordinary person when it comes to the decisions you make for yourself and why people do the things that they do and why people make the decisions that they make, including myself. I'm like, why am I going to scrolling on social media? And so I had to really think like, what is it? And I was like, I have all these things on my to-do list that were work related, cleanliness related, health related, like all these different fitness related, all these things. And then because it was just so many things I wanted to check off my list, I just was like, let me just scroll, right? So it was a form of numbing. It was a form of like just kind of forgetting about what I needed to do. So after I just literally went from one corner of my apartment to the rest, I just had all this like space, right? So again, it's like I had 10 different moisturizers for my face. I don't need 10, right? I had a ton of clothes that I just wasn't wearing anymore. They were folded neatly, but I just had a ton of clothes that I just never seemed to touch, right? Like, so my main point is that for you, what is it? What is clouding you? What is like mentally boggling you down, right? Like, is it a partner that you're with that's not supportive? Is it your job is just overly stressful? Is it, maybe you feel like you literally don't have control. Maybe you might need to go get a panel done, right? Maybe you just binge watch and like change your way of thinking and binge watch women that are in their 30s and up that have the best body of their life, have the body of their dreams. Maybe you feel like you're too old, right? Maybe you feel like post baby, I can never have the body of my dreams. And if you literally just Google, like go on YouTube, there's every single thing that is a limiting belief in your mind, it exists. And that's the beauty about there's a duality to having the internet. It's a blessing and a curse. But the good thing is that we can have access to all these people all over the world that are doing the things that we feel like are like just the impossible. People are doing them. So we want to dig into the mindfulness. Like, are we just not organized, right? Are we not organized? Just admit it to yourself. Then download books, ebooks, or watch some podcasts on how to get organized. And then just spend the next month getting your life organized. Then you'll have all this space in your brain to be able to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to sign up for that gym. Or you know what? I'm going to start working out Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know what? I am going to meal prep, because you actually have the mental capacity. So a lot of times we'll say, well, we just don't have time. This is the main point of this video that I want to dig into. A lot of times when we don't have time, but then we're scrolling on social media, but then we're going to get cocktails after work, but then we're hitting the club, but then we're just mindlessly shopping on Amazon, or we are binge watching Netflix, we're actually numbing, we're deflecting, like we're doing other things to help us. We're doing other things to help us deny the fact that we really have to do some inner work to get to the bottom of this, right? So what we're really saying is that we don't want to make time for that, because we all actually have time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? So let's take away 8 hours for sleep. So we all have the same 16 hours in a day. And why are some people exponentially able to use their time for health, fitness, and they have the body of their dreams, the health of their dreams, but then some people aren't? But then you're one of those people that's like, I know I really want that, but I feel like I just can't. If you can't wake up in the morning and go work out, but then you spend the first 11 minutes of your day scrolling on social media instead of getting up, brushing your teeth, going to the living room and doing just the good old jumping jacks, sit-ups, lunges, running in place for those 11 minutes and then get on social media, we have to dig into why we're doing that, right? And I feel like this is actually talked about a lot, but not in regard to like health and fitness. You might have a social media addiction, and that's a real thing. If you feel like you literally cannot, like the first thing you do is you look at Instagram and you look at it for 25 minutes in the bed, but then you could be using that time to meal prep for the rest of the day, you might want to consider that you really do have a social media addiction. And I don't have the tools to tell you how to stop doing that. I know how I significantly reduced the amount of social media I was looking at, but I'm sure there's actual like books and even I've even heard that there's programs out there, like facilities that you can go to get help for social media addiction, because it's that we get that much of a dopamine hit from social media. It's a beautiful thing. I think it helps motivate and inspire all of us to see what everyone's doing, but then it's also on there's polarity to it. On the opposite side, it's a danger because we're consuming too much of it, or even like just getting caught up in like the news for the day, or like going on the shade room and like seeing what everyone else is doing with their life or whatever drama. And it's like, is that 15 minutes, like that 15 minutes on social media can wait for you to do 15 minutes every single morning to just work out in your living room, right? So we actually have time, and we have to admit to ourselves, we just don't want to make the time to meal prep. We just don't want to make the time. And if we do really want to make the time, then what's holding us back? And if what's holding us back is actually what we need to work on first before even thinking about, health, fitness, and getting into meditation and all that stuff, let's dig into let's dig deep. Like, let's go deep and figure this out once and for all. That way, once it's done, it's done. Like for me, I'll tell you, I had to just admit to myself that I had a sugar addiction. I just had to admit that to myself. I would literally eat like 5 Krispy Kremes. And because again, I looked on the outside like I was really like healthy and I was thinner and all this stuff, because I would like eat 5 donuts, and then I would, for the rest of the week, I would have like green juice and salad and undereat. And so like that was like my thing. I'd be like, oh, well, does it matter? Because I just like, I know how to balance it. That's not balance. That's like, that is irresponsible to be doing that to your body. So once I really realized that, and I was like, why can I just like, if I have 1 bite, it turns into 5, and like, it's a thing now. So I actually made the decision, and I was like, okay, no, why is it? And I was taking care of my grandmother who had dementia for 6 years. And it was really stressful. And so I would reward myself with donuts, or I would order donuts in, and while I was taking care of her, I'd like have the donuts. And so I was getting dopamine hits to deal with the high level of stress. It was like I was getting my dopamine hits from the donuts and the pastries and the cookies. So once I was able to connect the two, I was like, okay, now I know what it is, and now I can get back healthy. Now I can get my system healthy. Now I can speed up my metabolism. So I did have to go through a period of time where I had to eat more calories, make sure I was, having less sugar in my system, but then up my calories. So my body did hold on to all that. And now I'm in the journey of like getting back more lean where I like it, but I feel healthy. I feel strong. I feel naturally energized. I haven't drank coffee and I don't even remember how long. I'm not here to debate if it's good or bad for you. I just haven't needed it. I want you to dig deep. I want you to really get in your journal or in your notes section, or start watching some podcasts, or even if you want to rewatch this video, or comment down below if you want me to help you come up with a method to really help you dive deep, like if you have something specific. And if I see like a trend, I'll do a whole video on it. But we gotta like really, really look at ourselves in the mirror and say, do I have an issue with discipline? Do I have an issue with slight depression? Do I have an issue with always wanting to numb myself with Netflix? Like we always think like, oh, well, I don't do any drugs or I don't drink, so I'm not numbing myself. But if you're like numbing if if all your attention is going all into social media, or it's going into binging Netflix over and over, or it's going into binging food over and over, that is a way of numbing. Okay? I had to make a tough decision years ago to quit my job. I was at for almost 10 years. I was high up in the company. I had to quit it. I hated it. It was stressing me out. That was also where my sugar addiction also started as well. These are major decisions I had to make for my health. So sometimes like we're not willing to do the next level thing in order to get our health back on track, in order to get the body of our dreams. So let's just even say like your health is fine, your body's fine. But you're just like, I just want to like lose 10, 15 pounds. I want to be in a bikini and like walk around without feeling like I need to tie something around my waist, right? Like, and you know, if you're that person, right? And you're like, I just want to lose the weight, but you can't. Is it because like literally like it's just you and the paper? It's just you and your thoughts. Nobody else has to see it. You can burn it up, rip it up after, and just really write down why you haven't lost it over and over and over every single year. And then take the next 30 days to work on that one thing, the discipline. Maybe you have chronic anxiety, or maybe you're an overthinker. Okay, so those things like kind of never really go away, by the way. 20s to my 30s is that those kind of emotions never go away. So if you can just be on the journey of mastering how to feel and transmute, as opposed to push down and numb, the more you can get in front of your health, gaining weight, you know, getting in front of your sleep. If you feel like you can't ever sleep, okay, what's going on with that? Is your mind keep going? Okay, so why is your mind overthinking and it just never goes? Okay, well, I have a lot of things I'm just overwhelmed in my life. Okay, let's dig into why we're overwhelmed. What are some things we can get rid of? What boundaries do we need to put up? Are we a people pleaser? Like there's so many layers to this, right? So that's the one thing I want you to do. Right when you exit out of this video, I just want you to go to your note section, go to your journal, and write down realistic, the hard truth, looking in the mirror, embarrassing truth, and just write it out, and then look at it and say, okay, I have work to do. That's what I did, and that's how I was able to not gain 30 pounds back. I lost 30 pounds when I was 29 years old. I'm now 37 years old. I've never gained that 30 pounds back. And I had to think like, why? Like, why didn't I yo-yo, right? Why, even though I had the donut era and all that stuff, I was like, you know, why? I was like, why didn't I yo-yo diet? Why didn't I go up and down? You know, I've definitely seen, and that's an issue that women constantly talk about, is yo-yoing with their weight. And I was in my journal, I was like, why did I never yo-yo? It's because I became embodied with the type of person that fitness is just a part of who I am, right? Meditation is a part of who I am. Eating a balanced diet is a part of who I am. Just being an overall active person, even aside from fitness, just being an active person. Like when I'm around my nephews, I actually really play with them. Like I don't just sit and scroll on my phone and like watch them play. Like I actually take that time to be active with them. Like I like to go hiking. I like to do active things. I stand and work all day. That's another conversation for a whole nother day. Like there's all these things that you can do to just start moving your body. So I'm embodied with like health and fitness, right? And I'm always getting better and better. I'm always trying to figure new things out. I'm always trying to figure out how to work with my hormones. That's a whole nother thing in the 30s, which will be a whole nother video. But one thing I hope that you can take away from this is just to get real with yourself. And once you get real with yourself, your best self is on the other side. Like you being on the pursuit of the embodiment of your dreams, the body of your dreams, and embodying that human being. Because what we don't realize oftentimes that we have to actually identify with that person. If you want to lose 10, 15 pounds, but then you keep eating pasta every single night, it's like, and you know it. You're like, I know by eating this, I'm not going to get to that. But I want to, summer's in 30 days, in 90 days, so it's fine. But then why are you doing something that you know will not get you to where you want to be at in 90 days? Oh, well, it's fine. This one day won't hurt. But then you do that every other day. And then all of a sudden, summer vacation's here and you're not happy with yourself again. So you go back to the moment of like, dang, I should have. And it's like, no, let's not do that. Let's actually like just get in front of it. And identify with the person that you see yourself to be, that you see yourself as right now. Like you can, like right now, like that's the beauty of being a human. We have the ability to have a beautiful imagination. So right now I can imagine myself with my leanest body. So I'm like, okay, lean Sienna. And I'm, you know, I have some lean aspects like on my body right now, but like just getting like to the next level lean. I'm looking at her right now with my imagination, and she exists right now, right? So I'm already embodying her. So it's like, what would she eat tonight? Would she have pasta, or would she have mainly vegetables, some beans, and whatever else, and then maybe eat pasta, half a pasta on Sunday, right? Or like a small thing of pasta on Sunday, and then go hard this week. Not eliminating, right? But like, I want to be leaner. I'm fine, right? Like I'm happy with my body right now, but for my personal goals, like, okay, like can I get to like the next level? Can I get like a little tighter, a little leaner? Like, let me see if I can do it. I'm 37. I'm like, yeah, I just want to push myself. So that person that I see myself to be in the next 30, 60, 90 days, they wouldn't eat pasta on March 8th, right? Like there's two ways I could go. I could eat a ton of pasta at 10 p.m. tonight and binge watch Netflix, or I can eat a healthy, balanced dinner, go to sleep, wake up at 6 a.m. and work out. And then if we literally can't decipher between the two, there's something deeper there. And that's okay, because that means the more deeper that we can go, we can identify what it is, work through that, and then bring on a new identity. That's the beauty of being a human. That's the beauty of constantly being able to evolve. Like, it's never too late. And that's the one thing another thing I can say about being from the 20s to the 30s, like, it's never too late to just do what the hell you want to do. Forget everyone's opinions, forget your own opinion about yourself. If you want the body of your dreams, you can start right now, right when you click out of the video. By meal prepping, downloading a book about self-help, downloading a book about self-discipline, downloading a book about binge eating, downloading a book about sadness, downloading a book about whatever you got to do, and then you just keep chipping away. And really, the second that you make a decision, this is what I'll end it on. The second that you make a decision to go that will benefit that embodiment of the person you want to be, you're already successful. Like, you don't, and I heard this from Bob Proctor, and I don't know why it was like it just hit my soul. You don't just become successful like when you get the $1 million, or when you get the shredded body of your dreams, or when you get the man, or when you get the woman, or when you get if you're already embodying that person with the very next decision that you make, you're already successful. Like you are successfully on the path. Instead of on the path to success, you are successfully on the path, because you're just making the decisions that will get you that goal. So you're already successful. It's all one thing. It's all just one journey. That's why oftentimes we'll achieve something and we're like, okay, what's next? Right? It's like the success never ends. Well, because we're already just being successful by making the good decisions, the smart decisions that are going to get us the goal that we want. That's how it works. At least for me. That's how I like to think about it. That's what works for me. That's what gets me through doing hard things. So if you are struggling, let me know down in the comments what you guys want me to touch on or dig into. Also, what I want to encourage you to do is download my ebook guide. I created it because I was giving out tips to friends, families, coworkers, and they're like, this is actually working. And I was like, oh, dope. Let me put it into an ebook guide. So it works. It's awesome. You can check out the reviews, download it, click the link in my description. Also subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to like. I really appreciate it. Also, guys, I have a Patreon if you want to support the channel, if you want to support the movement. I love talking about health, fitness, and mindfulness. I love helping women and men, but mainly women in their 30s and up, 35 and up, because I know you can do it, because I'm doing it right now and I'm getting better and better, and we can do it together. So if you want to support the channel, if you want to support the movement, definitely tap in with my Patreon. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me continue to do videos just like this. It helps me continue to transform and help people. I'm creating courses, digital products, trainings, all of that. So all of the Patreon support goes toward that. So I really appreciate it. Again, subscribe, like, and thank you so much for tapping with me, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.